I'm Jane Kennedy, Director of Teaching School Hub for Inspire Learning Northwest, and our Teaching School Hub works with 290 schools across the Liverpool and Wirral area.
My name's Andy Ash and I work with Jane very closely. I'm the Early Career Framework Strategic Lead, so I help oversee all the Early Career Framework work that we do. It's got a huge potential to really make a difference because, you know, from my point of view, one of the most important things for teachers is that they become really reflective practitioners and that they realise that teaching is a lifelong career that you can get a huge amount of enjoyment from. And that I think the Early Career Framework is a really valuable kind of vehicle that will allow us to help teachers who are new into the profession, begin to experience that from a really early starting point. Yeah.
And the only thing that I'd add to that, Andy, is the fact that it's the common curriculum that teachers can have that means that they've got the transferable skills should they actually not stay in the one school indefinitely. So there were a number of reasons that we selected UCL. One is around the pedigree that UCL have got and everything that brings to the table. And the fact that as a teaching school hub, our vision is very much around ensuring that we offer world-class training, which then leads to world-class education for the children within our reach. And that's obviously something that resonates with UCL's philosophy too. Andy, I know that when you and I spoke earlier on, there are elements that you felt were a real boon from UCL too.
Yeah, one of the things that really appealed to us from my point of view was also that we are allowed to have a fair amount of autonomy as a teaching school hub. So I feel like the collaboration is very much a two-way thing. And so it means things like when we want to look at how we develop our group of facilitators for the Early Career Framework, that's sort of handed over to us and something that we can develop a strategy for that's very much contextualized for our local area. And that's really appealing.
One of the big things that we found since this started, which feels like an age ago now, around May, June time, is the fact that UCL, there have been bumps in the road because this whole thing is new, but actually from our perspective, UCL are extremely responsive. You actually listen to any of the concerns that we've got, and it's very much is a partnership. We work together to find the solutions rather than, you know, it just being dictated to and being done to. It's being done with, very much so. So from our region's perspective, the full induction programme was extremely appealing, largely because it was we've actually done lots of work with facilitators. So we've actually got a core group of people who are in schools within our area, and therefore they're the ones that are delivering training to the schools in their cluster, which means that people have got that ability to create networks and make things more sustainable long term. In terms of doing the full rather than the core induction, the fact that we've actually got people who are doing the facilitation takes some of the onus off schools themselves, and they don't therefore need to do it. And in terms of writing your own, well, why would you? If you've got something that is high quality that's there and provided for you, why would you want to invest that amount of time and expense in creating something that you've then got to have checked for fidelity?
Yeah. I think I'd also add that, you know, the schools being in cluster groups in their, you know, based in the geographical regions means that early career teachers who are doing it aren't just getting it in-house, if you like. They're getting the chance to meet with other early career teachers who are having maybe slightly different experiences from themselves in other schools in their area. And that kind of, I feel quite strongly that connecting with other schools in your area and collaborating and meeting other people is a really important part of being a teacher and becoming a sort of professional.
Yeah, and it also prevents the danger of silo working, because it's only the way you only see the way it's done in your organisation, and therefore there's a danger that it becomes institutionalised. As we said earlier on, we very much as a hub want people to see that teaching is a career and there's a career path, and actually that's underpinned by high quality world-class CPD for people at all levels of their career. And it's just to see that you don't do teaching for 2 years and then go and do something else. There's an investment from the DFE, from our hub, from the schools in our area to make sure that we get the right people in and that we train them to retain them.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the thing is, teaching is a really rewarding job, but it's a really difficult job. And therefore, there needs to be recognition and also ongoing professional development opportunities for people who are doing it so that they continue to improve. Because I sometimes liken it to being a bit like a surgeon, except you can't see inside. You're trying to always second guess what's going on inside a pupil's head. It's an incredibly rewarding but incredibly challenging job. And therefore, this idea of the golden thread, will help, I think, support teachers continue to improve their practice and really enjoy the job. So I think first and foremost, it's about recognising the different roles that they're going to need. So they'll need an induction tutor, they'll need a mentor. It's about them thinking about then the implications for their timetable for next year. So making sure that there is time built in for the mentor to meet every week with the new teacher, the early career teacher. And obviously ensuring that the early career teacher has the appropriate amount of time off timetable, like that.
And I think the other thing, obviously, they do need to register with an appropriate body. But the first and foremost thing I would suggest that they visit our website and look at the frequently asked questions to make sure that they're in the strongest position they can be for when they actually appoint early career teachers for the new academic year.